Yo, what's up, y'all? This Philosophical from the Rap Review Room, y'all. I'm here to review Lupe's Murals album from his Tetsuo Youth album. Cut to the intro. What's up, y'all? This is Philosophical again. I want to appreciate everybody for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the page. Continue to do that. Continue to subscribe. Continue to engage and comment. I try to engage with all the comments. Also, if you're an up-and-coming artist and you want your music reviewed here, whether that may be a track, an album, or an interview, don't hesitate to reach out to me. All that information will also be down in the description box. If you have any questions, we try to give a lot of love to our up-and-coming artists, whether that may be a track, an album, or interview. All right. So, man, today I'm going to be reviewing Lupe's Murals track from his Tetsuo Youth album. It all came from, I put out a post of, what are your favorite Lupe albums, right? And I got some feedback as far as everybody was saying Tetsuo Youth. Everybody was kind of saying the cool, which I'm very surprised, and I'll get to my thoughts in a second. Drill music in Zion, the cool food, liquor. I heard nobody say lasers, which is also interesting. Um, and also for me, Dragon's Wave, which is also surprising, right? So I'm just gonna give my kind of my favorite albums of Lupe, right? My very favorite album is The Cool. I felt like The Cool had a story, I could relate to it. I just felt like Lupe's energy was on that was even more impactful and more influential than the first album, right? So for me, I love the storytelling he did on The Cool. It felt impactful, revolutionary. It felt like mature. It felt he was that artist, right? I think that the Cool album made him that artist, right? Then it was Food and Liquor. Food and Liquor for me was kind of, man, I like this guy. This guy can rap, right? And he has some really good guest features on there, hip hop beats. I felt like it was a great debut album for him, right? And then for me, and I know this is going to come as a maybe a debate. I love Jargus Wave. I felt that was a great conceptual album. It was different. It was a 18, I believe it was 18 tracks on there. I believe I had a couple bonus tracks on there of like story, right? The pirate ships and just gold and the African story. It's just you did not hear those type of albums before, right? From him. And it was great to hear that, right? Dragon's Wave. I felt that was a great album. I put that slightly above Tatsuya Youth. I thought Tatsuya Youth coming off of, I felt like two subpar albums. Lasers was an okay album. He had some label issues there. He was conflicting with the labels and things like that. And also Food and Liquor 2, the great American rap album. I felt was a little bit of a disappointment because I felt like he was trying to appease to a lot of masses on that album. And he did become a little bit confident and cocky on that. And I feel like Tetsuo Youth kind of brought him back down to humanity side and kind of gave him an album that the people really wanted from him, right? So I do put Tetsuo Youth as kind of my fourth album, and I like drill music in Zion, right? I have a review that will also be down in the description box, and that's also going to be up here as far as my Samurai review album. Also, let me know if you guys want me to review any other Lupe albums. Let me know, and I can definitely get that reviewed here. But today we're going to be reviewing Lupe Fiasco Murals track off of Tetsuo Youth. Let's do it, y'all. I see why this was highly requested. I feel like this track was kind of just, man, it was an impactful track, man. I just feel like Lupe had a lot to say on this. It's 8 minutes long, so we get ready to analyze this, man. Let's do it. What a great intro. I love that in the beginning here, man. I also feel like I tend to go back to kind of Lupe's earlier albums, the Cool. I find myself always going back to the Cool. I find myself always going back to Dragon's Wave. I recently started going back to drill music in Zion. The Cool, I'm sorry, Food and Liquor is an album I will periodically go back to just to kind of get that remembrance of Kick Push. I love Kick Push as a track for Lupe, so that was a dope track. I tend to go back to that album to kind of see and reflect and kind of take notes on where Lupe was at that time. But Tetsuo Youth is an album that I found myself still intrigued by. I feel like I found myself still trying to analyze this album, right? Because it has so many meanings towards it, even the album cover here, right? But man, like I said, man, great intro starting out here. Let's keep going.
Uh, yeah, uh. We're all chemicals, vitamins and minerals, and Vicodin in the tubes wrapped around the arm. To see the
Already, Lupe. To me, Lupe kind of raps in this complexity that he kind of. I feel he raps in the complexity where he feels this audience should already know what he's talking about, or kind of understand his world to where he should be questioning a lot of his lyrics. But doing this deep dive, right? This is what he starts with, right? Vitamins and supplements wrapped around our arms, right? Let's keep going.
see the vein like a chicken on the bond. Top
Kneading in our vein like a chicken on the bone.
cat chat, let's begin another yawn. Let's flying sausage cheese, or is it chicken palm? But roosters don't fly like boosters don't buy. So what powers cowards to get them to the top? Just to fall asleep, listen in the box. The ribbon in the sky is the ribbon that I drop. Dribble in the
So right there, right, what he's saying there, and that kind of little those bars right there is what he's saying is that he's saying that a lot of music is boring. Labels are spitting out in his opinion that music is boring. People want to listen to Pac, right? And he's Lupe has always been a confident rapper in terms of this album also where he feels like he's gone at Kendrick Lamar. He's said his thoughts on kind of like the whole music as an industry. He feels he's the best, right? Um, for me, I have my I Lupe to me is kind of I won't say overhyped, but I feel like Lupe is a artist that is a certain time and step for that. I feel like he's an artist that other artists should, try to mimic and try to articulate, try to put into their music. But as far as like the can I listen to him all the time? No. Do I find myself listening to him every day? I know who he is as a rapper, but and that's okay. That's cool. But some people can't handle the riddles and complexity of that. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
eye across the prism of a clock that lacks meaning, but racks up stacks of fat reading to catch cheap and wrapped up plants from trap dealings.
So I this part right here, I feel like this was my kind of my issue with a little bit with Samurai, where I felt like this beat has a really good piano, really good beat. I feel like Samurai had a little bit of that toned down boom bop beat, but it was the complexity was just way too out there for me. Right? It was a lot. It was a lot on that album going on. Right? And I feel like it gets to a point where sometimes you're not really have your ear to the ground in that aspect, right? And I will say sometimes in this track, I do feel like he's kind of rambling on. A lot is going on in this track. But let's keep going here, man, because sometimes Lupe tends to put messages. It's very hidden. It's very like you got to kind of figure it out. And I know that's not for everybody, but I will say, as core fans, I've had discussions about Lupe on this channel, and it always comes down to tell me some complexity about Lupe. That why is he so complex? Why is he what sets him apart from any other artist, right? As far as his complexity. Yeah, he can rap. He's a good rapper, right? But at the same time, what is setting him apart from the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, a lot of these other rappers? Why isn't his name kind of in the upper echelon where it should be? I do feel like Lupe is has his place in this rap history. I do think, he's a very dope artist, but why doesn't he get the shine he deserves? Let me know that. Let me know down in the comments.
Now what's the coffin with a scratch ceiling? And what's the talking without the match feeling? That's berry living and cherry picking every lemon from your berry system, then proceed with the pack feeding. When I was young, I had visions of another world, sneaking look.
There it is. There it is. I want to say this, right? I said on my Nick Grant review that Nick Grant raps in metaphors to where you can relate to it, you can figure it out. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Lupe does the same thing, but I feel like it's in ways of it makes you think of imagery, right? Look at the album cover. If you go to an art museum, art galleries, right, you tend to have to figure out what it means. And he just said it just now, right? When I was young, I had dreams I was in another world. That's exactly how he raps. More recently now, I like that. I now being able to go back and listen to this track and really figure out a lot of Lupe, man, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I really, really appreciate that.
Looks at the porn stash of my brother Hurl. Incense smoke made for this is other curls. Casting calls for porn films and ad space for rubber girls.
Now he's speaking on uh, the porn addiction. The porn addiction. He's not outwardly saying that. You know what I mean? Like he's outwardly telling the story of someone else having a porn addiction, and that's the imagery I feel like Lupe does paint. He paints a certain imagery, but sometimes it's behind riddles. So I like that. I want to see where this is going.
I like my pancakes cut in swirls. Moroccan moles and undercover squirrels. I like cartoons, southern cities with large moons. Faith healers, ex-female drug dealers, and art booms.
So do you see how he correlated as far as him and his friend dealing with the porn addiction, and he kind of speaks on the type of women he has in these scenes he likes to paint with those women? That's beautiful. That's beautiful right there. I like that.
Apologize for my weird mix.
Yep.
What tastes like hot dogs and tear drips and looks like pantomime and clear bricks.
So hot dogs and beer and beer. I'm not going to say the word, but it hit that type of bar right there. Kind of signifies that that's nasty, right? Him comparing the women he loves to seeing someone have a porn addiction in the common mind frame. That's nasty. That. But see, when you really have to break this down to really get a sense of where he's going with this, I like that.
Bricks. It smells like shotguns and deer piss. They on a hunt, kinda salty that I'm going hard. First part of a party that I throw in pods. 1 minute you playing pool, next minute you throwing darts. But that's how you do at a party that you throwing bars. I run the gambit like I'm throwing cards. From popular mechanics.
Gambit like we throwing cards. X-Men reference there.
To overdosing hard, paint cold pictures like Nova Scotian landscapes. Nerd gang, McMandel brought sets when we handshake. A word game, back up, playing that can damn lakes back up. The bird plane playing at the man states means I can still be the man if the dam breaks the window.
Yep. And right there, right? I think Lupe on this track and recently is speaking and rapping in ways of like, I'm the best. I can still be the man. I still be me. I can be weird. I can be people feel like I'm weird. I'm unique. I'm complex. but I'm still seeing this imagery and these scenes, and I'm still could be the man. I want you guys to tell me down in the comments, right? Give me the issue why you feel like Lupe isn't like spoken about, talked about more than he has been. I would love to hear that, man.
When demand breaks some reflections, what they can't face, but pyrrhus still treat the mirror like it's a fan base. The unvetted veteran, the eagle feathered man of medicine that hovers above cities like weathermen, or maybe weather woman. Whatever better to tell you weather coming. I prefer girls to rain all over the world, and not rain like Rain Man, or rain like rain dance, or rain like a slight chance of rain when it's rain, and a rain like dear slaves to Santa Claus, slave man, but rain like.
Again, he's speaking on, again, how you view the world outside, as far as if you want it from a weatherman or a weather woman, how you like your weather is on you, right? Then he continues to speak on the type of woman he would like, comparing it to the weatherman and the weather outside. Rain dance, rain down, right? That's dope. I like that. That's dope.
Like queens that reign over made man, not queen like queen killer.
Queens that reign over made man. Queens that reign. So we're still hitting on the rain here.
Rep City Bohemian queen, but queen like white glove, wave hand. And not wave hand like it's a heat wave, so you make a fan by waving your hand. I'm talking wave like you saying, hey, man. And not hate for horses and horses like you almost voiceless. You gotta treat your vocal cords like it's a fortress, and treat every single one of your words like reinforcements. And especially when you're recording, cause that's the portion that's important. When I was reporting that I was poor, but now I'm more than it's still.
There it is. There it is again. So now he's basically saying, giving you the behind the scenes of a rapper. You got to protect your voice. Now, he felt like he just rapped about, I rap scenes more better than Paul and even more. That's a Bible reference there. That's crazy.
Still hooker heels on my sugar hills and sweet spots. Crying shames make margarita rims from cheap tops. Deep plots in Florida ceiling windows for my pea pots. Little scenes, swift as sickle swings to make the wheat drop in 100 words. For them hummingbirds that like to eavesdrop and fan out like peacocks with a parakeet that beatbox. So the sun rise when the beat drop and the sun dies when the beat stops.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's talking about kind of, he's up from sunrise to sundown, writing to beats. That's dope.
Then it unties, then it relocks, then it relapse, then it detox, then he back like a heat pack on his kneecaps at the weak spot, cause he want what we got, like yeah.
So now he's speaking in terms of the guy wants the same thing we got.
Poetry like a young honorary Morrissey, then spit it to the golden lock thoughts who like they porridge all watery, not scorching nor sorbity from the still orbiting sorcerer sorcery coming down gorgeously, just like a Stacy Dash waterfall, a more torturing a waterboarding Barbie doll, a river of women like Brazilian carnival, swimming in feminine bikinis made out of barbasol. Somebody give them the.
So now we're speaking, he's painting the picture again of the women he likes to see. Dope, man.
Volleyballs. If you love her, don't ever send her to Molly Malls. Homie, if she lonely, she might end up in Macaulay's claws. Coming out the closet over goblets down at Mardi Gras. The fame, champagne, walk of shame, lobby car. My rap position was black condition and activism, ammunition for abolition missions, attacking systems, but they not after listen, less is dropping no Activision. I'll be absolute.
Ooh, what a gaming reference there. Ooh.
Are we bodies filled with apparitions, operating applications stuck inside an Apple prison, chicken hacking download updates that lack religion, or are we more than soil tainting this soil?
He even mentioned a lack of religion line in there. That was dope too.
Changelings preoccupied with boy and goyle, chasing and foiling others royal saints. I sit back and watch the world through eye holes in my oil paintings. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Unless you Virgin Mary, nothing do it but to trust. Believe all that. Unless you judge, life is not a dictionary. It's a thesaurus, and I feel like a
life is not a dictionary. It's a thesaurus. Oh, that's so true. That is so true. Meaning, if you look up the definition of a thesaurus, right? We all know the definition of a dictionary. It's basically the meaning of definition of meanings, right? Of words, right? But let's see. What is the definition of a thesaurus, right? What is the true definition of a thesaurus? Let's look it up. It's a book of electronic resources that lists words and groups of synonyms and related concepts. So what he's saying there is that a thesaurus is a group of synonyms and related concepts. That life is a time of related concepts, not meanings. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That is really interesting. Wow. Okay.
Like a missionary to a clitoris, the water bearer air of traditions that I swear to never change my chair position or conditions of my porridge. Submission for sedition against the religion of a chorus. Keep them golden weed thieves out the motherfucking forest. As I perform a nerd storm, I prefer my pictures in word form. Bury the hatchet like hot bird born. As I paint cold pictures.
I prefer my pictures in word form. Dope. That's dope.
Like Kool-Aid facing condensation, having conversations with flavorful combinations, slaves on my concentration. So that's OJ the juice man meets OJ with two hands and two gloves. That's too snug to judge who was who drew blood. And Lupe, look at all these toucans in a cemetery full of tomahawks, giving middle fingers to the pigeons doing somersaults. Road runners don't fall off cliffs, they run across anomalies by the colony, flukes by the reservoir, while in pursuers end up as poofs on the desert floor. Levitating youths who know the truth of where the fountain hides. Buckaroo roofs painting tunnels onto the mountainsides. 1,000 parts a pound, a heart, an ounce of eyes, an ounce and out of doubt, and mouth pronounces out accounts of lies. Chocolate counts by the counts of 5. Refrigerated roof full of animals and monsters. Incinerator shoots in the manual for Contra.
Another gaming reference. Another. So I view these type of tracks now that I'm understanding. I'm viewing Lupe as saying that he views the world, his world, right? Even an example of how a person could view it, right? That life is full of concepts, right? Life is full of what you're seeing, what you're going through. Not necessarily. I think understanding and articulating the meaning is the lesson, but the concept is the present. I like that. I feel like that's my favorite line in this whole song right now.
Assorted memories from my childhood, absorbing energy from the wild woods.
So we got another childhood reference. Absorbing the energy from the wild woods. That's. I feel like I've heard a lot, learned a lot from Lupe in this song, even more.
Electronic combat, Konami signed contract, Chinese char killing cucarachas on contact. Chicago, spread gun aficionado, efficient spitting, bridging divisions isn't Chicano. Who's the boss? If it isn't, listen Milano. Do the cough.
Who's the boss reference? I like that.
Ninja mission into the Congo. Polarized envy of the older guys. Black Obi Shinobi hitting Kino in the face with all my throwing knives. Sub-Zero guiding, hiding, riding in the pack as well. Sound village, leaf village, wolf spirit, magic spells. Yeah. Dodging rain and catching hell.
More gaming references. More game, and I feel like we're painting a picture here of gaming references. Lupe being an outsider, a outdoors perspective. The world is about concepts, the meaning of type of women he wants and desires. It's just man, wow.
Face seers need samurais to catch the L. Special research vessels made for catching whales. Fillet of fish, ship, sea shepherd, peppered with extra sails. Rewrite history, liberty needs a better bell. Maybe
we write history, but liberty needs a better bell. Do your research on the Statue of Liberty. Also, do your research on the Liberty Bell also.
Harder irons and carbon fibers that never fail. Smarter science mixed with our art alliance, a fairy tale. Or maybe just a metal pail you hit with steel tools to announce you've had enough and dropping out of school. Just like trout jumping out their house to let their gills cool. Cuba scuba couldn't take the temperature of my skill pool, yeah. Said it feels cool to kill fools. Slipping through the cracks like when you try to grill gruel. Techno Viking water bottle and not following pill rules will have you off the throttle when you should be modeling chill mood. Roller skate maker, you just cobbling wheel shoes.
Roller skating line right there. That comes back with kick push.
Weight taster, king's food that kills crews. Oblivious featherweight baker who autograph cakes whenever his quill moves over your milieu. Simple as a Buddhist monk in the temple standing in some hill grooves with the abbot practicing stillness. Real still till he realizes realness. Defeats samsara, achieves nirvana and brilliance. Yeah.
Whoa, what an ending bar. What he said was sitting in the monastery, looking at the monk, being still. When you understand that real stillness is peace, what an ending bar there. And that's what real life is. Just being still. Man, so that was Lupe Mural from Tetsuo Youth. Man, I appreciate you guys hanging in with me this far. I know the video was a little long, but that was Lupe Fiasco's Mural. I felt like I learned a lot from that track. I learned even more about the complexity with Lupe, man. Really, really appreciate that request to review that track. Let me know what you guys think about Lupe, why he doesn't get a lot of the love or flowers he feels he deserves. Tell me why. I feel like, there's such a divide in the complexity of the type of artist he is and kind of the way he raps. But I give that song an 8, man. I definitely found myself going back to Lupe's previous albums, especially The Cool, which is a great album, in my opinion. Classic. A little bit better than The Cool. I mean, a little bit better than Food and Liquor. But let me know what you guys think about that. All right? Also, man, I appreciate you guys liking, sharing, subscribing. Also, if you're an up-and-coming artist and you want your music reviewed here, don't hesitate to reach out, whether that may be a track, an album, or an interview. That information will be down in the description box where we give a little bit of love to up-and-coming artists. All right? If you want me to review your track, album, interview, don't hesitate to reach out. All right? I'm Philosophical from the Rap Review Room, y'all. I'm out, y'all. Peace.